You're craving more Spire-like games, so let's not waste time. Here are 5 games like Slay the Spire. The first being Monster Train. It's only been out a month, but it already stands out from the others as a true rival to Slay the Spire. I wonder if Megacrit Studios feels threatened, and if they don't, they really should. Monster Train, while influenced by Stiz, which is what I'm calling it from now on, it has its own individual flavour. Instead of characters, you've got race decks, which are flexible and fun. Your goal is to defend a demon train from waves of good Samaritans who just want a moment of your time. The train itself has 3 floors and limited space for defenders. If you don't defeat the enemies before they reach the top, they will destroy the engine. The combat is interesting, and you often have to take risks when placing units or casting spells and buffs, while remembering that the Bible Bashers attack first every turn, and they will ascend if you don't make them leave your property by the end of the turn. After a successful defense, the game gives you the choice between 2 train tracks that host different forms of rewards, shops, and random events. This game does not like giving you easy choices. You've got to take chances to improve your build or adapt when things don't go as planned. There is a lot of challenge here, and sometimes it can be unforgiving. Just remember that it would be really boring if you won every time. Honestly though, it's a great deal of fun, the art style is cute, and it has so much replayability. I would recommend buying this game even at full Steam price. Okay, let's move on. Monster Slayers is incredibly reminiscent of old Flash games on websites like Congregate and Armor Games, mostly due to the developer creating games there for young nerdlings like myself since 2007. However, this game is not hugely different gameplay-wise to Stiz, but what it lacks in depth it makes up for with 12 different classes that all have unique playstyles. It also features a surprisingly extensive equipment system which alters damage, health, resistances, and can even add cards to your deck. These items carry through your playthroughs, which gives a decent amount of replayability. The voice acting is garbage, but it's so much so that it's almost charming.
This place has a foul stench in the air.
Monster Slayers is a great time waster for when you don't want to think too hard but still want that Stiz fix. I'd recommend buying it on sale, but definitely not at full price. Alright, my next recommendation for you Spire junkies is Legend of Keepers, which is another game where you're on the side of the monsters. It also plays fairly different to Stiz, but if you enjoy one, you'll pretty much definitely enjoy the other. Core gameplay revolves around Dungeon Phase, which immediately presents you with the 3 stooges that are breaking and entering your home. Luckily you get to see their weaknesses. Then it's time to choose from your collection of nasty boys to place in the 2 battle rooms, and place your favourite traps to harm or horrify the enemy. Your job isn't over though. Your employees require direction before they are beautifully massacred. Honestly, look at the animation for minion death. It's truly outstanding. After you've successfully murdered your intruders, in self-defense of course, you're given a few choices to gain new monsters. Level them up, have them pillage for loot, or even book your fodder minions a session with a psychiatrist because they're mentally scarred from dying every fight. Legend of Keepers is created by some passionate devs with the right ideas. Hell, even on their Steam page they mentioned that they were inspired by games like Slay the Spire, Darkest Dungeon, and For the King. And if you know anything about me, you know that game is my shit. On the topic of shit, while trudging through the monthly garbage I received from Humble Bundle, I noticed a glimmer of hope within May's bundle. Slay the Spire got an unofficial Anime Titties DLC, and honestly just look at those graphics. They're sizable. I know you're blaming the Japanese for this one, but honestly, it was someone Chinese. Even with 3 minutes of extensive research, I couldn't find out much about the developer outside of their nationality though. Real talk, Neoverse plays incredibly similar to Stiz, with the addition of optional mission rewards and a skill point system, both of which can affect the way you build. Core gameplay, however, is essentially the same, which isn't a bad thing. I just wouldn't recommend this unless you specifically wanted a retextured version of Stiz. And, other roguelike deck builders don't appeal to your sensitive baby palette. Maybe grab it during a sale. If you're not actually a baby, and you're willing to try something bizarre, then try Overdungeon for the love of God. It's not incredibly challenging, but it has so much charm, and it really is a unique take on the genre. It's played semi-real time, where you can build crazy fun decks, some of which involve summoning hundreds of baby chickens or alpacas, or throwing swords at your opponent until they die. Overdungeon is incredibly silly fun, but that doesn't take away from the depth of the game. There's still a very enjoyable deck builder underneath all the bizarre gameplay. Do yourself a favor and buy it, and I promise you'll never have played anything quite like it before, and you probably will never play anything like it again. So that was 5 games like Slay the Spire. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Criticism or praise, I care not. I just want to have a discussion with you guys. Also, drop me a like and a subscribe.